All right, welcome to MindBody Chair Yoga. I'll meet you on the chair. And this is the Thursday before the holiday long weekend of Thanksgiving. And you just start moving your joints a little bit, toes, ankles, shoulders, wrists. And I wanted to just acknowledge this this holiday of gratitude. And oftentimes, all right, let's find stillness. Let's release the hands, drop the shoulders. Oftentimes, we're asked to, think about or reflect on what we're grateful for. And it's usually like these external things like our family, our children, grandchildren, the house we live in, the food we have, etc., etc. And so I'm just going to offer out another like kind of script on gratitude. So I'll invite you to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Turning the attention inward toward the body. And just taking a moment to be grateful for this body that you inhabit. And appreciating that in this body there are far more things going right in this body than there are going wrong. And appreciating and being grateful to all those systems, all the things in the body that are going right. And then thinking about, okay, well, there might be some things that are going wrong with the body. And just acknowledging that sometimes it's easy to get frustrated with the body. And that's just kind of normal, right? Because we want to be able to maintain this peace we've always had. And sometimes the body shows up in a way that forces us to kind of slow down or to pause. And that maybe we could look at that instead of as an irritation or an annoyance, as a gift. The body reminds us that we're human, we're mortal, we are here, and then we're gone. So when we notice these things that might not be going right with the body, maybe that can be our opportunity to say, that's right, body. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of the importance of being present every day with my loved ones, my family, this beautiful, especially if you're on the peninsula, this beautiful land that we live on, the freedom we experience on a day-to-day basis. And, acknowledging that these things are the way our body reminds us to be grateful for all that is around us, so that we don't turn kind of on the body with annoyance and grievances, but with appreciation, with gratitude, with tenderness, and with love. So I'll invite you to bring your hands up to heart center, and let's take a moment to really acknowledge this wise body that we have, this strong, this kind of miraculous body we inhabit. And we'll initiate our practice with the unifying Om as we inhale together. Inhaling We'll open the eyes and exhale. Release. So with that, let's bring all kinds of tenderness while we bring attention to the body as we move through the body today. Rolling the shoulders forward and up, back and down. Good, let's reach our arms. Let's have our I Dream of Genie arms, inhaling up. Exhaling down, switching the arms, inhaling up. Exhaling down, repeating. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And again. And release. Great, arms out to the side, internally rotating one side, externally rotating the other. Let's exaggerate, especially that internal rotation. And switch sides. So this little wringing out of the arms and shoulders, getting into that full rotation from the top of your shoulder to the tip of your fingertips. Getting curious about this movement. Arms and shoulders, stretch up the face. Nice and easy. Release. Good. Let's take left arm on top of right arm. Big breath in, heart and belly points forward, and we're going to extend our elbows to the side and then inhale, coming back, and then exhaling, extending and inhaling, coming back. We'll do one more time. And then release, inhaling, exhaling. So notice your first round, kind of how far you can get with that stretch. Second round, seeing, can I explore that range a little bit further, and then just see what's possible. Third time around, release. Let's just make some really big loosey-goosey circles backward. Okay, let's get watery in the shoulders. Stretch out the face. Good. Either fingertips up and bring them down as one elbow rises up, one elbow draws down. Or clasp the fingers, create resistance, so pull against each other, pull the fingers against each other. This is, I think, significantly deeper. Remember, significantly deeper does not mean significantly better. It's just what and how your body responds to this particular stretch today. One is not right, one is not wrong, one is not better, one is not worse. So just explore. And release. Good. Externally rotate both arms and shoulders, lift the heart, inhaling. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, back of the hands come together, and then repeating, inhale. And exhale. Just this upper body movement, isolating. You can always stretch out the face a little bit in between, release tension from the face. Last one. And release. So just take a moment, pause, notice the sensation at the shoulders, at the arms, front and back, maybe sides. Maybe even noticing heart rate has just increased a little bit. Just check in with sensation as we move our attention out of our heads and into the body. All right, we're gonna lift the heels. We're gonna start rocking that pelvis. So tuck the tail and lift the tail. Paying attention to sensation at the leg joint. For me, it's always the same. It's always a little bit of lower back. Like when I tuck the tail here and lean back a bit, I'm like, that always, just kind of feels nice for me. But since we hold tension differently in our bodies, it might be something different for you completely. So just getting curious about that. Okay, let's drop the heels. I could keep going, but let's drop the heels. Reach the arms forward as we tuck the tail and tuck the chin. And then inhaling, lifting the heart, lifting the tail. So seated cat-cow, you move at your pace, exploring this movement of the spine, rounding and arching the spine, and just checking out what you notice. All right, let's come back to a nice tall spine. We'll take our hands behind the head, inhaling, lift the navel up towards the spine. I really want you to root down through the right hip. As we exhale, dip the elbow down to the left, and our heart is turned up. Exhale, up, inhale, down. Maybe exploring a little bit deeper of a dip. And we can do that because we're rooted through this hip. And then that way we explore that stretch in two directions. Over to the other side, so root down through this left hip. Exhale, over, heart is still turned up. This will be the last one on this side. Really pressing down through that left sit bone. Rising up, good. Reach up. Exhale, trace those angel wings back behind you. I'm just going to show you what this looks like behind, clasping the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart and draw the navel up, push through the wrists. So the wrists are pushing away from the shoulders and maybe extending the arms back any amount, stretching through the top of the shoulders, the pectorals there. Face can just be neutral. All right, remember, release. And let that go. All right, inhale, float the arms up to the sky again. Exhale, turning to the left, feeling that twist at the waist, middle at the back shoulders, draw the hands down. And let's just gaze over the shoulder and we'll pause at this shape. Breathing in, grow tall. Breathing out, just guiding the body into a gentle twist. Breathing in, growing tall again, maybe a little coming out and of the twist, and then exhale, just exploring this range of motion, never forcing or pulling. And then repeating that one last time. And as we inhale, we'll float those arms up to the sky, coming to a nice neutral spine. So maybe reach up. I'm kind of lifting one butt cheek up as I reach up with one arm and then with the other. Inhale, grow tall, exhale, turning, and we'll drop the hands down. Inhaling, again, growing tall in the spine. Exhaling, gently guiding the body, feeling that twist, gently. The waist, mid-back, shoulders. Maybe taking the nose all the way to the shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and out. Okay, we're gonna inhale, come back, and exhale, release. So let's get watery again. Okay, and now we'll come into our neck stretches. Inhale, lengthen, grow tall, and exhale. Let's take the chin down toward the chest. Let the head be heavy, both shoulders soft. Allow the head to really sense into the weight, or the feeling into the weight of the head, like a bowling ball here. And then take the head a little to the left, a little to the right, back and forth, gradually expanding this range of motion, little by little. Taking your time, no need to rush. Returning to neutral, inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, let's just gaze over one side. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, gaze over like you're checking your blind spot. Inhale, come back. We're going to repeat that. Make sure both shoulders are soft, not rising up in any way. Inhale, come back. Exhale. And inhale, come back. Big breath in. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. We're going to take our right shoulder, scrunch it up to the ear. And then exhale, release it down, actively drawing down. And then just see about if your ear can also release down to the shoulder. So right shoulder rises up. Let's draw it down again. So we're looking for ways to release tension along the neck, top of the shoulder. There we go. All right, now we're here. Big breath in. Exhale, turn the nose down toward the shoulder. Experiencing this big stretch through this huge muscle on the side of the neck. Now inhale your ear back to the shoulder. Exhale, nose to shoulder. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, nose to shoulder, pause. Big breath in, make sure both shoulders are soft. Exhaling, chin to throat. Inhale, nose to shoulder. Exhaling, chin to throat. Or any 2 points where you feel like you can kind of iron out, release, let go of little pockets of tension that might be hiding here. And now we're going to release, and then nice and easy, just bringing the head back up, recognizing that was a lot, right? That was a lot on one side, so we're going to get watery and just kind of get neutral before we move to the other side. All right, so big breath in, inhaling, exhaling. Right ear to right shoulder, checking. Both shoulders are maintaining this soft position. Now we're going to scrunch up the shoulder up to the ear and then draw it down with that intention of expanding. Inhale, scrunching it up. Exhale, releasing. And letting go along the side of the neck. Now, pausing, inhaling, exhaling, turn your nose down toward the shoulder. Inhaling, ear to shoulder. Nose to shoulder. Ear to shoulder. Exhale, nose to shoulder. Big breath in. Chin to throat. Nose to shoulder. Chin to throat. And you can explore movement here. I'm kind of going beyond a little bit there because my body was calling for it. Now we're going to pause and just nice and easy, just in a slow movement, return the head back to its upright position, roll up the shoulders, get watery. Okay, so we've taken care of neck, shoulders, hips, the 6 movements of the spine. And you know what joint I just realized we don't really warm up very well? We don't warm up the knees. So I've been thinking about that. I'm like, we do all these other joints, often, wrists and ankles. Well, when have we ever like really focused on the knees? So I did a little bit of digging to find out about that. Okay, so we're going to try something new. I know we're still seated, but I think it's very worthwhile. So I'm just going to take my hands back so I can lean back, and we're going to need to engage the core to lift to the feet, and we're just going to swing. So positioning yourself whatever weight in the chair so that you lean back. We're definitely engaging the core. Okay, I'm really pulling up on the navel and hugging in at the ribs. And we're just going to really let ourselves swing. And if you need to like lean into the back of the chair any amount, that's fine. And just really bring some nice movement into the knees. My thighs are communicating with me. This is also challenging at the thighs. Make sure your chin is tight, no stress in the neck, okay? And then we're going to release. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure you move forward in your chair. Lift one knee up and pedal. And so based on the height of your chair, you might need to, like I'm needing to lean back a little bit so that I've got space here to do this pedaling. Wow, my thighs are like, what is this? But really, we're trying to get fluid moving through this knee joint, through all this movement. Okay, and then the other side. After we do this knee warm up, then we're going to shift a little bit to our ankles. We do a lot of ankle stuff, but I'm just adding a few new things after this. Okay, one more pedal. Nice, heart rate is already increasing. So just hands at the knees. We're going to lift the heels, lift the toes, lift the heels, lift the toes. Just going back and forth. So this is a great exercise that you can do, like just sitting and, you know, having your morning coffee. You know, you can do this anytime you're sitting down, and really nice for the front of the ankles, the Achilles, and just, you know, encouraging like this circulation, this movement. Stretch out the base if you want to. Okay, and then the final warm up for the ankle is taking our fists together and bringing them between the knees. Squeeze like 25% effort, doesn't have to be a lot. Turn your toes out, turn the toes in, turn the toes out, turn the toes in. So you're rotating at the ankle, okay? This is called a tibial rotation. You can stretch up the face, maybe even acknowledge that, oh, I lift my navel up towards my heart, you know, engaging there. So just see how that lands with you. Ah, okay, and release, let's come to stand. So a very fulsome warm up of all the joints, maybe not the elbows, but less important, let's just say, love the elbows. Okay, standing in mountain, we're gonna take our palms behind our backs, inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down so that the palms are facing back. Okay, so it's like looking like this. So lift the arches of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the navel, and we're just gonna do that a few times and explore. Scapula movement, maybe this is our elbow warm up. Yeah, let's just say that. But really, it's meant for mid-back, kind of, you know, where you can get that knot in the back and it's really hard to get at, it's really hard to reach. So this is just getting that thoracic movement to help stretch and release any tension that might be holding on there. Okay, and release, roll out the shoulders. Let's do the same thing, but we'll add a bit of balance. So we'll lift one heel so that the thigh is kind of lifted. Take the arms back and we're gonna repeat. And this might be enough balance for you, but if you want to explore more balance, lift the navel up towards the heart, really engage the core as we lift. And so I'm finding like I gotta slow down when I do this because this movement, it makes me go off balance a little bit. So I really got to focus on the core. All right, and release. Let's just roll out the shoulders a bit. And then we'll come to the other side and we can have like lift one heel, hands back, and then to the low back, and then choosing to make this balance, maybe slowing down. You know, really, you know what, this is nice in the shoulders. I'm really noticing this nice little work here as we move our hands behind our head and then behind the back, really challenging our balance and mobility at the shoulders. Okay, awesome. Let's come into our Tai Chi movement. It's been a little while, so I'll just go through it step by step. Hands at the heart. We always inhale center. Exhale, pivot your left toe out to the side. Hips are still forward. Inhale. Exhale, pivot, toe out to the side. Inhale. This time, we're going to pivot the toe and the heel back and see how my heart is now pointed 25 degrees to the right. And then we're going to inhale back and then do that to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. So we'll do that again, turning. So now this is our warrior one, pushing as if you're pushing something very heavy. Navel comes towards the spine. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, pushing, press into that back heel, lift the navel. Inhale, back to center. Let's do that one a few more times. Adding a twist if you want to, same legs, arms can come out to the side, turning toward the bent knee in the front, inhaling back to center. And exhale, same legs, warrior legs, gentle twist, just going as far as you need to. And if there's any little tippiness or any little bit of correction, that's great. That's all it is. There was a little bit of correction. You had a little bit of balance. Challenge, which is like what we're trying to do here. We are challenging our balance. Inhale back to center. And exhale, release. So just taking note, stand mountain for a minute and think about all the things that are going right in your body this moment to have completed that Tai Chi movement right from the very beginning to the more, from the basic to the most challenging, so much. So a little bit of gratitude to your body, and then we'll keep going. Sun salutation, hands at the back of the chair, or you can take your hands to the seat of the chair if you want to go a little lower. Your choice is yours. Hands. And then we're going to come to a forward fold. Soft bending at the knees, softness at the shoulders so that you can just sway slowly, a little to the right, a little to the left. Just kind of leaning into one shoulder, leaning into the other shoulder, just checking out what you notice here. Maybe a stretch right into the rib cage. Okay. Now we're going to pedal the knees forward and back, keep the heels down so that really we can pedal the pelvis. So right pelvis goes back as left knee goes forward and vice versa. Okay, inhale, step your right foot forward, float your arms up to the sky, one or both arms up. Virabhadrasana 1, exhale, take the hands down and step back. Inhale, left foot forward, press into the back heel, squeeze those thighs together, lift the arms up. Exhale, release the hands down and step back, repeating both sides, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhaling. All right. Let's inhale that right foot forward, left foot comes out to the side a little bit. Squeeze the thighs towards each other, grow tall. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like in this direction. Often we reach up and pull down, but I want you to pull out to the sides and then pull in. So reach out and pull in. So just getting a different angle for this shoulder work. Take the navel, lift it up towards the spine. Maybe stretch out the face, reach out like making a W with your elbows. And last one. Great, release the hands down, turn that back toe forward, and we'll step back into forward fold. Sway a little from side to side. Good. Inhale, left foot forward, right foot comes out to the side a little bit. Growing tall. And we're going to just have both hands at your side, palms face back. And then reach one arm up, one arm back, and change sides. Alternating. Exploring your range of motion in a different way. Lift that navel. And release, hands come down. Turn that back toe forward, and we're going to come into our forward fold and bend the knees, kind of sway the hips, and then we'll walk our feet to the back of the chair. Arms distance from the back of the chair. Rise up on your tippy toes, really as high as you can. Bend the knees, sink that hip down. Drop the heel down. Achilles gets a stretch. Rise up with energy. Inhale. exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll do one more time. Change direction, bend the knees, lift the heels, rise up, lower down. This is another great exercise for the ankles. If you think about it, the whole foot, the arch, the joints of the toes, so much good movement going on. Okay, and release. We'll turn and face the front. And we'll start with one hand here at the side of the chair. So the chair is on the left side. And you can take your hand to the hip. Bend that outer knee. Hug in the hip, grow tall, and really lift the navel up. We're going to circle this leg joint. Stretch out the face. Try not to let that hip sink and then change direction. It happened to me there in a second, like all of a sudden I was like this. Wait a minute, engage, grow tall. And we're going to put that foot down and just hug it out, shake it out. Now we're going to lift the knee, hug it in. Maybe one hand stays on the chair. Maybe one hand is behind the knee. Maybe both hands squeezing the knee. Either way, you're going to squeeze and spread the toes. Circle the ankle one way. Circle it the other way. Point and flex. And release. We're just going to shake that out. So this left leg is nice and warmed up. So we're going to lift the inside legs. That should be the left leg. And kind of just going to rise and sink a little bit here. Okay, so we can take both hands at the heart. Inhale down, exhale up. So we're feeling this weight bearing in this outer leg, in this outer hip. And then if you want to, actually, we'll just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. I'll add that later. And release. Take the outer leg, place it in front of your inner leg, and then turn the toes out into the corners of the mat. Bend the knees, lift the arches of your feet. Push the heels away from each other as if you're trying to rip a hole in your mat. Grow tall. Let's take hands. Actually, no, we'll take the arms in front. Open and close the fingers. Now, my legs are working hard here, okay? And I'm going to maintain that activity in the legs. Now, make a fist, nod the wrist. Stretch out the face. Now, keep pulling those heels away from each other. Breathing in and out. And now we're going to circle the wrists, stretch out the face. Okay, release. And we'll come to stand, but we'll come into tightrope. So that outer leg is still in the front. And we're on the tightrope, we're going to grow tall. So lift the arches of the feet, lift the navel. And I'm going to count for 30 seconds. We're going to do flicky flicky, like you've got water on the tips of your fingers and you're flicking it all over with the intention of kind of exploring ways to make yourself a little bit tippy and it's kind of like vigorous movement here, right? Like we're flicky, 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 flicky. Really important for the hands, the fingers, all the joints in the fingers. So we're almost there for 30 seconds. Should be feeling a bit spicy in the hands. And release. So that's great. 2 for 1. Balance and synovial fluid activation throughout your hands. Okay, we're going to, let's see, what are we doing? Yeah, now we're going to go and do all that on the other side. So hands is about arm's distance. We're we're gonna bend that outer leg, hug in the inner leg, grow tall, circle the leg. And you can make this balance if you want to, taking hand to hip, or you can hover the fingers, or keep the hand and just focus, really focus on the leg joint here. So again, no right or wrong, just options. Change the direction. Okay, release. So basically we're circling every single joint that we have today, making sure our joints are feeling nice and good. So we're gonna bring that knee up, grab on, either on the outside or under, or even like hanging onto the pant leg, or making it balance and hugging the knee in with two hands. Either way, squeeze and spread the toes. Let's get those toe joints. Stretch out the face. Circle the ankle one. Circle it the other way. Point and flex. And release. So now this outer leg is nice and warmed up. So just do a little shimmy, shimmy, hip shake. Bend the inside leg. One hand to the heart. We're just gonna sink down, rise up. Sink down, rise up. Maybe make it balance. Soon as I bring my hands together, I like automatically my body's like, okay, I got to engage the core. So it just shows you how important the core is to balance when you can notice right away, you know, just that little bit of support taken away, your body engages, it responses. Responses? That's a new one. Okay, response. Okay, we're gonna release. Now, take your outside leg in front of the inside leg. Point the toes out into the corners and bend the knees. Line up those heels, lift the arches of the feet. Forgot to do this last time. Let's lean back a little bit. Make sure you've got the glutes engaged. Now lean forward. So it's 50-50. Press your front heel forward, the back heel back. Your legs immediately are fired up. We're going to keep that firing. Okay, hands behind the back. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, elbows come together. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, elbows come together. So little upper body work while our legs are really supercharged. So don't get caught up in the upper body and forget about the lower body. We got all these 2-for-1s today. Okay, release. Turn one foot and the other. So now we're on our tightrope. Lift the arches of the feet, lift the navel, and we're gonna flicky flicky again, okay? So let's go. We're halfway, that's 15 seconds. So really challenge yourself. $30. Okay, awesome. And release. Okay, over to the other side. For our final standing, we'll come down. So start arms distance. All right. And we are going to lift the inside foot, okay, the inside heel. And we're going to sink down and rise up. Sink down and rise up. So we're all warmed up for our heron pose, which I really, really love because we bring the arms up as we sink down on the inhale. Exhale, rise up. Now we can keep heel lifted on this inside leg, or we can kind of take off and we can return the foot to the floor and bring it back up, or we can keep it lifted. So The moment I kept it lifted, my core activated, started to lift up. So remember all that knee work we did? That is to warm up exactly for this. It's a lot on the knee. Okay, but just observing, pausing if you need to. Okay, this is the last. And release, good. Outside leg crosses over inside leg. Inhale, reach up, exhale. Lean the hip over to the side. Inhale up. Exhale, lean over. Repeat. Inhale up. Exhale. Release. Let's move over to the other side. So getting ready for our heron this side. Arms distance. Bend the inside leg. Okay, and inhale down. Exhale up, really draw the navel, prepare your core. Okay, now float arms up as we sink down. Exhale, maybe the knee takes off and we drop the foot down. Or we keep the knee lifted. And we just kind of fly like these beautiful, graceful birds. Inhaling up, exhaling down on our incredibly strong legs. Look at this. Look at how this movement is so beautiful. You guys are amazing. All these things going right. Look at that. Last one. Release. Good. Take that outside leg. We're going to cross it over. Squeeze and grow tall. Inhale. Exhale. Lean over to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And release. Great. Okay, we'll just move that chair out of the way. Coming down onto the floor. And you can simply roll over onto your side and lie down. Or you can have the feet distance apart, knees bent, reach those arms forward, scroll down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to hug in the knees. Let's stretch out the face a little bit, squeeze and spread the toes. Let's circle the ankles one way. And the other way, and if you're noticing that urge to yawn or sigh, really go with it. Open the mouth. Make it as loud as you need it to be. Point and flex the toes just to let all that tension leave the body. Hands on the knees. We're going to circle this leg joint around and back in. Connect the breath with movement as best you can. Now change the direction. All right, let's lower the left foot down. Extend the right foot up to the sky. So you can grab onto the pant leg or clasp your hands behind your thigh here. And we're just going to point and flex gently. And the knee can be bent any amount. And when you flex, like draw the toes down toward the knee, see about what you notice about the back of the leg. And maybe flex and then bend the knee, soften the knee, like explore, because really like to stretch out the back of the leg here. Let's hug this right knee into the chest and push the left heel away. Big breath in. Exhale, draw forehead to knee. Release. And we'll drop the right foot down this time and lift the left foot up. Make sure your shoulders are tucked under. Hands either holding onto your pant leg or behind the leg. And we'll just gently start to point and flex. start to stretch out the back of the leg there. And stretching out the face, you can scrunch it up, spread it out. Then flex the foot and just kind of bend and straighten the knee ever so slightly. Okay, so we were kind of getting our calves there a little bit to the knee when we're pointing and flexing, and now with this flexed foot, bending and straightening the leg, we can get a little deeper into the back of the upper leg. Now we're gonna hug that left knee into the chest, push your right heel away, inhale, exhale, forehead to knee, squeeze that leg into the chest. Exhale, release. Take your feet as wide as your mat, tuck the shoulders under, arms out to the side, and we will windshield wiper the legs. Like kind of in slow motion. This upper leg, draw the knee away from the hip to facilitate this nice quad stretch, which I think is really important to do today because we did a lot of that kind of chair pulse, a lot of weight bearing on the leg where we asked this thigh to do a lot of work. So we want to stretch that out so it feels okay later. Now take your knees all the way to the right. Just let them be heavy. Maybe look to the left. Option to take your right foot and place it on the left leg or knee, and permission to explore the position of that left foot. Just to see, like, okay, can I play around a little bit with movement here to continue stretching out this hip, this thigh. Limber and release. Inhale and gaze upward, knees come up, realign the spine, tuck the shoulders under, a little tuck of the tail. Then your knees go to the other side and you can look to the right, so knees left, gaze right. And this might be plenty, but you could take your left foot on top of the right knee and just see what that's like. Again, give yourself permission to move your right foot around to optimize the stretch for yourself. For me, like the left side and the right side are so different. What I do on each side is very different because of what my body is calling for. I just hold tension differently in each hip. We'll release that foot. Come back to center. Let's hug in, get really, really small. Maybe take your forehead to the knees. Exhale, inhale, get really, really big, like a giant starfish. On the inhale, exhale, get really small, hug in. Inhale, let's get really big. And we'll do that again. Maybe one more time. And release into your starfish. And maybe you want to hang out in this shape for a few moments. And then maybe coming into something a little bit more comfortable. Bringing the limbs in a little closer, tuck the shoulder blades under, palms face up, legs out, feet to the side, traditional Shavasana shape. But if there's any issue anywhere in the body, modify to be comfortable. This isn't about enduring discomfort, not by a long shot. This is about getting comfortable. So if you need to bend your knees, tuck the tail, let the knees come in, get a blanket, whatever it needs to just find comfort, so that we can bring the attention back to breath and body. And let's just keep it simple for a few moments. Let's just observe the rise and fall of the chest. What a beautiful but simple observation. That allows you to physically know that you are alive in this moment, that this body is breathing itself, all the things going right in this moment. And if it feels good to you, bringing hand to belly, hand to heart, continue breathing in and out, and directing some gratitude toward your lungs, the heart, the belly, the rib cage expanding and contracting. All of the air, the fresh oxygenated air being sent through the veins and arteries to all the corners of the body, picking up what the body does not need and releasing it on the exhale. And I don't know about you, but when I kind of think about all the things that are going right there, it can become a little overwhelming. So just pausing and observing that, just the rise and fall of the chest, the rise and fall of the belly. And being grateful. Could you imagine if we had to think about all of those things in order for them to happen, and they just happen automatically? Thank you, body. Nice and easy. I'll invite you to squeeze and spread the toes. Really sense into the feet expanding and then contracting in, expanding, contracting. Maybe rock the ankles from side to side. And then the hands will do the same thing, open and close fingers. Maybe circle the wrists a little bit. And then the face, acknowledging the face collects tension, so stretch it up, stretch it out. And then when you're ready, inhaling arms overhead for a gentle full body stretch. Exhale, release. Sighing, yawning, releasing. Surrender to gravity. And then we'll bring the limbs in, look closer to the body, roll over to one side, almost like you're giving yourself a little hug. Another opportunity to just feel gratitude toward the body. And then nice and easy, we're just gonna push up. Gonna take our time. And come to the same position on the floor. Any shape, no right or wrong, or coming to the chair. We'll sit up tall, observing the breath in this upright position. And just seeing what you notice anywhere else in the body. Making little movements if you need to, if it's being called for. And then I'll invite you to bring your hands right over your precious, strong heart. And then with as much kindness, compassion, and tenderness, thank yourself for taking care of yourself in this way so that we may appreciate our bodies, so that we may love our bodies and care for them when they're working, when they're not working the way that we want. And then we'll seal in with the unifying Om as we inhale together. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for being open to practicing this 5,000-year-old mind-body practice. And we'll see you soon.